What if the man who actually saved the 616 universe is not Tony Stark, but a Doom variant rewritten into the 616 universe as Tony Stark by none other than Kang himself? It's so impossible, right? Until you start connecting some dots. And let me start connecting them. First off, let me go back to that deleted scene from Endgame. You know the post-credit scene where Tony meets his adult daughter, Morgan Stark? He looks at her, surprised, shocked, and he can't recognize her. Well, he recognizes her, but he can't place her. When the memory comes back to him and he realizes who it is, he doesn't call her daughter. He doesn't say, "You are my daughter." He says, "You are Morgan." But here's the line that Morgan says to him that changes everything. First off, she never once said that he died. She didn't mention that. What she says to him is,
I know. And I know it's going to be tough for you to let go. But if someone had to do that, so the rest of us could... I'm proud of you.
and what if she's not talking about letting go of life and passing on, but letting go of that true identity of who he really was? Because what if Tony Stark really wasn't Tony Stark, but a variant of Victor Von Doom from a different timeline placed in the 616 universe to avoid him from becoming God Emperor Doom? So let me make a comparison between Tony Stark and Victor Von Doom. Both are inventors, obsessed with perfection. Both built armors to protect them from a world they can't seem to control. And both of them carry a deep guilt for the destruction that they cause and have a desperate need to redeem themselves through power. In another world, maybe these two stories could be one and the same. And in this 616 timeline right now, perhaps that is the case. Because when Kang the Conqueror defeated timelines, he didn't just destroy and get rid of everybody. He rewrote the structure of all those timelines into his one perfect timeline, the one that he wanted to protect. So he not only repurposed different universes to build this one sacred timeline, he repurposed variants from these different universes and place them in the sacred timeline to prevent them from reaching their full potential of who they could have been. And what better way to stop Doom than shifting the whole narrative of his story? Because Doom is the one man capable of dethroning Kang. So he's the biggest threat to Kang. So what if Kang buried him in a false identity, making him believe that he's Tony Stark to hide the fact that he's actually Victor Von Doom, stopping him from ever becoming Victor Von Doom? So now with this false identity of Iron Man, Tony Stark, he ends up defending the universe instead of conquering it. But we need to touch on incursions, because how did Doom reach in the 616 universe, and what is his plan from here now that he realized that he's not Tony Stark and he's going back to being Victor Von Doom? What actually happened that put him in the 616 universe? Well, I have a theory. My theory is that when Captain America went back in time at the end of Endgame to return the stones to the rightful timelines, and he made the decision that he would stay in the past with Peggy, that created a branch timeline that should not exist. And the other universe that was destroyed in that incursion was, you guessed it, Dr. Doom's universe. Now, before the final moment of that universal collapse, what if Kang took Doom out of that timeline and placed him in the 616 universe, rewrote his story as Tony Stark, and placed him in a situation where he will always be a defender of the planet instead of somebody looking to rule it? Because we know Doom's story. In Doom's story, his mother was taken by Mephisto at a very young age, and that is why he started to pursue not only technology, but dark magic in an attempt to find a way to bring his mother back. If what Steve Rogers did cause an incursion, and it did destroy this Doom's universe, then he didn't only lose his mother, he lose his whole world, his whole universe. I don't know if there's a way to bring his mother back when his universe non-existent. So Kang rewrote his story as a protector of the 616 universe, so it will give him a purpose and it will make him loyal to that 616 timeline. And we see the result of that at the end of Endgame, where he made the ultimate sacrifice. But as we're talking on Endgame, we had to talk about the major outlier of the story that nobody seems to think about or talk about in this way. And I want you to pay attention to this, because this, I know it's a wild theory, but this just might blow your mind. So we need to talk about Morgan Stark, the daughter who should not exist. We're going to take a little trip back. In the beginning of Infinity War, Tony and Pepper were running. They were exercising, and he stopped her and he told her, he said, you know what? I had a dream, and in that dream, we had a child.
We named him after your eccentric uncle. What was his name?
Right.
Morgan.
So you woke up and thought
Naturally.
that we were...
Expecting.
Yeah.
Yes?
No.
I had a dream about it. It was so real.
If
The
you wanted to
main
have a
thing
kid-
you need to take away there is that at the beginning of Infinity War, Pepper was not pregnant. Follow the money. Let me follow the money. Immediately after that, Iron Man Tony Stark entered a magical portal with Doctor Strange, Wong, and Hulk. And we never see Iron Man again until the beginning of Endgame. Remember, he was on a planet far, far away from Earth. Nowhere around. Now let me go back a little bit. In Multiverse of Madness, we learn that dreams are windows to alternate realities. What if Kang was showing this version of Doom or Tony Stark what is his future and what is to come, solidifying the need for him to make the ultimate sacrifice? During that time, what if Kang was rewriting the story in a way to put or to place Morgan Stark in that story by letting Tony Stark believe that Morgan is going to be his daughter and he has a child? Kang created an emotional anchor, a reason for Tony to fight, a reason for him to stay in that 616 universe and protect it till the end of his life. What if, after the whole soul plane incident, what if at that moment he realized that he was not Tony Stark, but actually Victor Von Doom? What does that make Morgan Stark? Is Morgan Stark the daughter of Tony Stark's Iron Man? Or is Morgan Stark actually the daughter of a Victor Von Doom variant? And the most powerful one of that, God Emperor Doom. No, let me keep with this, right? Morgan wasn't a part of that 616 universe. She was engineered into that universe. Remember that. At the beginning of Infinity War, Tony had a dream, which is a window to a different reality about having a child. And when he came back from outer space, losing to Thanos after they snapped everything, after 5 years, we just realized he had a daughter. Out of nowhere. Who is Morgan Stark really? You know the funny part about this too is, just yesterday I saw reports that there are leaks about a female Doctor Doom in Secret Wars or Doomsday. And it makes me ask the question, right? Is that female Doctor Doom actually a variant of Doctor Doom? Or is that female Doctor Doom actually Morgan Stark reuniting with her father on his real purpose of being Doctor Doom? Jesus Christ, if MCU do that, that's the only perfect way to add a female Doctor Doom into the mix. That will be freaking wild though. That will just be, my God, Jesus Christ. The thing about it is that she, Morgan, will end up being Kang's greatest miscalculation. She was there to anchor Tony Stark into the 616 universe, but after that snap, she is the only person who was able to unlock his true memories. When they perform the snap, they bring everybody back, but they also bring Thanos back, the 2014 Thanos, into present day, and he blew up the Avengers compound. When Tony Stark returned the shield to Captain America, after he found him in the rubble, the words that he said is something that stick to me since that day, and I kept asking that question. He said,
What happened? You mess with time, it tends to mess back. You'll see.
At that point in time, he already knew, but because Kang gave him that daughter called Morgan, that tied him to that 616 universe, and he couldn't bear to watch another universe with people that he cared for be destroyed. And that is what drive Iron Man to make that decision in Endgame. The basis of Wanda Maximoff's power, chaos magic, is something that Doom also does. And where was Wanda from? From Sokovia, right where Latveria is supposed to be. And if Doom was in Latveria, he would have been practicing dark magic also. So Latveria not missing from the MCU 616 universe. It was there all along. Kang just rewrote it as Sokovia. Based on some leaks now, we don't know if these leaks are true, but some people saying that these leaks are concept art for the movie's production, right? And we're talking about a recent leak that showed RDJ's Doom sitting at his desk on a chair, and in the background, there is a cryogenically frozen Superior Iron Man played by Tom Cruise. The suit is Superior Iron Man suit. You know, the full silver suit with the Infinity Stones embedded on it, headband with the Infinity Stone, everything. Doom was able to defeat him and cryogenically froze him and have him on display as a backdrop. He was like, when I make my webcam videos, when I make my videos handing for people to see, they're going to see that decoration, you know. Yeah. Superior Iron Man, that decoration, outfitted with all Infinity Stones. That just to show you that if these leaked concept arts are true, that the Iron Man who made the ultimate sacrifice in Endgame isn't Iron Man at all. The reason why he made that decision to make the snap was because Kang made a fail-safe in placing our daughter into Tony Stark's life by giving him Morgan Stark. My theory is, even though he realized that he was doomed, he had become so attached to his daughter, as his biological daughter. But the question is, if he is biologically Dr. Doom from a different timeline, doesn't that make Morgan Stark a daughter of Dr. Doom, not Tony Stark? And that is where the female Dr. Doom comes in. My theory is, this is going to be Morgan reuniting with her father and finally following the rule, because they want to portray Dr. Doom in this new upcoming movie as a hero. The things that he's fighting for is to bring balance to the universe. But the way that he had to go about it, it's wrong. In the sense that right and wrong, you know, black and white. This is why so many heroes are going to side with him. And they're going to have like a next Civil War based fight between heroes. You don't think that his daughter Morgan is going to be there? Because where she was all the time after Endgame, Morgan Stark was placed in the 616 as a fail-safe for RDJ's Iron Man to make that ultimate sacrifice. What Kang miscalculated and didn't account for was that she was the person, the only person, who could have unlocked his memory and make him realize exactly who he was. The question is, who's going to be on that team with RDJ's Dr. Doom? I hope you get that version. I hope Morgan Stark get that role to be the female Dr. Doom. Not a variant of Dr. Doom, but a child of Dr. Doom. This is just a theory, none of this based in fact. This is just what I try to piece together from all the tie-ins that are going on right now. I could be 100% wrong, but I'm really hoping I'm not. I'm hoping that this is the direction that they want to head in, because my God, this will be on a level bigger than Infinity War and Endgame put together, if they could pull this off properly. So I hope this is the direction that they head in. I wonder if she's really Valeria Richards. I wonder if she's a variant of Valeria Richards that they placed in the timeline. Like from Doom's universe that get destroyed. What if she was, because if he was actually God Emperor Doom, what if she was the product of Doom and Sue Richards? Because we already know that he's going for Franklin, right? That would be wild though. That would be wild. But let me know what you think about this theory. You think I'm mad? You think I just thinking things are not real? Or you agree with this? Tell me what you think Morgan Stark's role is from here going forward. Because she there. She in the MCU, right? If RDJ's Tony Stark wasn't actually Tony Stark and he was Dr. Doom all along, doesn't that make Morgan Stark Morgan Doom, Morgan Von Doom, or at least a variant of Valeria Richards or somebody like that? It blew my mind. Let me know what you think. Let me know if you have anything that linked to this whole storyline that we could find some facts in. Because this shit blew my mind way out of the park. I have no idea how to connect these dots from here now. So let me know what you think in the comments down below. For Them Fellas Reviews, it's Jeremy, and I'll see everybody in the next one. Later.